welcome back to another episode of Garage 80. To those of you who have just joined the channel, we're getting stuck into a budget build on this VS Commodore Ute. So this episode we're going to be looking at the petrol tank area and the tray and getting that prepped and looking a little bit better. So the car won't run at the moment because the fuel pump's dead, so I've got the fuel tank out, and I've just finished fixing that up and putting in and spraying it as well. But before I put it back in the car, I wanted to clean up the area where it sits. So I'll show you where we got up to. I did a little bit of work yesterday, which I didn't worry about filming because it's not exactly great content. But in here, this was full of dust and just dirty. So I've cleaned it out. So I just used some degreaser and a brush on my drill and cleaned up most of that, given it a quick sand with 320 grit sandpaper. And then the next thing we're going to do is actually spray down a bed liner in there. So I'm going to do the whole tray with a bed liner, but we'll start with that section. So the bed liner I'm using is Rangers. It's a 2K polyurethane coating. So I've just got 1 litre. That should be enough to do that area, and that's just the gun we spray with. So that setup there from the body shop in Adelaide here on Port Road was all up under $100, about $90, about 30 for the gun, about 60 for the bed liner, which includes the hardener for it as well. So before I can start spraying, I do need to finish off just a little bit of sanding on that, mostly around these edges here, where I had some silicone put down, so I've scraped the silicone off, but I just need to sand it down a bit smoother, and then get everything taped up. Once it's taped up, then I'll come back and we'll spray some coating down. Alright, and there we have it with the magic of YouTube. She's all taped up. I've just finished, so I sanded it down just with a red Scotch-Brite, just to make sure I got into all the little spots, all the little corners and things like that, and to make sure it was nice and clean. And then I've gone over it with a wax and grease remover, and then just roughly taped up around the edges. So it is a real rough tape up. I'm not expecting crisp lines along the edges, because I'm not actually fussed, because I'll end up painting the whole ute tray in the end as well. But so we'll get into spraying in a second, and I'll just show you quickly this one here. This is the Rangers tub liner with the spray gun connected. I've already mixed it up, and it's essentially they give you a little hardener to go with it. So just tip the whole lot of the hardener in the bottle, shake it all up, make sure it's nicely mixed, put your gun on, and then you're ready to spray. So whilst I was preparing that, also just been working on the fuel tank over here. So I'd sprayed the top side of it in a silver and just finished painting the underside in a matte black as well. So that's just drying off now. And it'll look a lot neater than the rusty old tank that it was before. So I just sanded that down really quickly, put an etch primer on it, all just aerosol, and then an acrylic matte black. And the top I've done in a acrylic silver, just a wheel silver I had laying around in the shed. And I've also just been working on this rail here, which, step back so you can actually see it a little bit. That's the one that's on the right hand side, the driver's side of the car. So I've taken it all back to bare metal and filled in all the drill holes in it. So I've welded those up and filed them back in there. It's pretty much ready to put an etch primer over. I'll do this one in a 2K etch primer, and then I can start doing the filler work on it, to fill in the scratches and little dents that it's got in it as well. But for now, we'll get back into getting the bed liner in that petrol tank area in the tub. Alright guys, it's been a few hours since I painted it, so let's just have a quick look at the end result, what it turned out like. It's not 100% perfect, but it's also not horribly bad either, so looks a lot better than what was there before. The leader came out pretty quick and probably went on a bit thicker than I anticipated, so I haven't got full coverage in a couple of spots, but again, all of this is going to be, you know, hidden by petrol tanks, have a cover over the top, so I'm not that fussy, although I won't be able to help myself and I'll end up just touching up a couple of little spots, but I'm pretty happy with that. That's the first time I put down any bed liner in a car before, and as I said when I was painting it, I haven't quite got the edges 100% neat, so some things like that where there's a little bit of overspray, and up there where there's a bit of overspray. But again, not fussed, because the whole bed liner I'm going to end up doing anyway, so that'll all match in the long run. Still haven't untaped the hoses and the electrical connection for the fuel pump over there. I'll do that after it's fully dried, so I'll just let this sit here for the next probably a few days before I start looking at putting the petrol tank back in. And speaking of, before we do that, these are some of the hoses and the drainage pipes and that go in there, and I'll clean all of those up. I've got new clamps for them, and I might even buy some new hoses to swap those over with before it goes back in as well. This is how things get out of control. You just can't help yourself. Once something looks a bit neater, you tend to keep going on it. Speaking of, this is the quick tidy up on the petrol tank. This is the underside. Again, this was meant to be a really quick tidy up, and it's actually come out a lot neater than I anticipated. If I duck down here, I'll be able to show you hopefully some of the silver finish that will sit on top of it as well, and that just literally sits in this side here. So next week I should be able to get that back in, and we'll focus on finishing off the tub rail on this side, which you saw I've stripped down to bare metal earlier in the video. So we'll just finish that off and then etch primer, and I'll do the two other ones at the same time. I did film another video yesterday. Unfortunately I lost the footage of it though, which was fitting up these VE SS 20-inch Super Sport rims, and actually modifying these to fit, so they need to be the centre board out bigger to fit on, which I've done on this wheel here, which is why that's fitting up nicely. So I'll redo that video. Unfortunately I don't have enough storage on my iPhone, so I've got to delete some videos to finish that one off. So I'll do that and upload a video on how to do that and get it looking really professional and neat as well. Some people file them out, some people say about the way I do it, you end up with a professional looking finish. So if you're interested in that, tune in. And these are the VTSS wheels. During the week, hopefully I'll get a chance to just clean them up and then advertise them. But if you want to get in early, hit me up with a message, and we might be able to work out a deal on these. So anyway guys, thanks again for tuning in. Sorry for the background noise of the air conditioner there. It's I think 36 or 38 or something here in Adelaide today, so it's been bloody hot working on the car, but happy with the progress that I made today as well, just despite the fact that I've sweated out probably 20 litres of fluid as quickly as I can drink it. It's coming out of me in the sweat glands. So anyway guys, thanks again. Tune in, subscribe, share it around. Love to get the followers up, and my aim is to get this up to 500 subscriptions by the middle of the year. So appreciate anyone who's jumping online and subscribing. Cheers, talk to you soon.